let's take a look here. All right, limper, one call, two calls, good flop.
Absolutely.
All right, I bet 250, so on the larger end.
Yeah, seems fine. Their calling ranges should be inelastic on this flop regardless of what you bet.
So now there's two straight draws out there.
Yeah.
And the guy's playing 88-8. So I bet $4. Ooh.
Okay. Do you like
I
size?
bet about half pot. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess my initial reaction is it seems too small, but I still get scared of basically I don't want to fold my set of kings, and if I feel like I bet too much and he shoves, I'm just kind of in a crappy spot.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because if you bet like $6 and he shoves for 18 more, you only have 20% equity against that. So I'd be very comfortable bet folding if I basically put him exactly in 6-2 or 6-7.
Right. And I mean, he can also have ace too, but
Yeah, I doubt he shoves it though unless it has like a flush draw. But it's hard to say. The guy's playing 88-8. I'm not gonna try to really hand read him. He's has a ridiculous range to begin with. But yeah, I think because this card is basically going to smoke his range, especially because he's going to play more cards around the 4 than the 3, around the 4 and the 3 than most players. It's going to give him a lot of like two pairs, more gut shots,
right.
things like that. I'm definitely betting larger, more like closer to the $6.
Okay.
But anyway, the more interesting spot is the river.
So now the backdoor flush draw gets there, and he checks.
So what do you think in hindsight?
Well, I can definitely see how I was. My initial reaction is I would like to look at very similar situations, except spots in which I lose the river.
Yeah, we'll do that next, actually, where we can bluff if we. So I think this is like this is an easier one to do, and then like the bluffing like gets a lot more complicated.
Well, I'm not even talking about bluffing. I'm talking about getting to the river with a pretty strong range, but I don't really know what I can get value from, and I feel like this is one of those spots where I could end up valuing myself because with the backdoor flush draw getting there. So if I was to bet, I could bet like $5, but I would not feel good about it.
Yeah, if I bet, that would be my sizing for sure.
I feel like I would get, I would value on myself quite a bit here. So I kind of like my check, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, it really depends on what you think his range is first off, and what you think he's going to do with most flushes. Especially because he basically has a pot-sized bet left.
Right. I think he's going to check call all but the nut flush.
Yeah, I guess it's seems standard then. If you think like he can call the river bet with like 4-5, 4-3, 5-3, things like that, I would make that small bet like $4 to $5. But yeah, I don't think checking here is bad by any means, and it's probably the better play against a lot of players. But against really passive fish, I still think, or weaker players rather, I need to stop saying fish. Against weaker, more passive players, I think we still miss a lot of value against like random two pairs that we're going to call like a third pot bet. And it's not like they're going to shove the river as a bluff either.
No. So he did end up having top and middle pair, and he had an open ender on the flop. So
yeah, I think we definitely could have gotten value from that in the river if we bet small.
Okay, sounds good. So should we continue the same theme, only maybe mix in some so very similar situations? I bet the flop, I bet the turn, and I get to the river, and
yeah, just kind of analyze what you do with each like hand.
Yeah, and maybe mix in some spots in which I end up losing too, just to not bias myself completely against clear value bets every single time.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think a really good one too is like where you bet the flop, you bet the turn, you get to the river, you check and you lose, and like we can analyze whether it was a really good spot to bluff, basically.
Oh, I see.
Like I think those are a lot more interesting because you'd be amazed how many times that you should probably be turning your hand to a bluff, especially if you have a made hand.
Yeah, I feel like I very seldom do that. All right, cool. Well, I look forward to doing that.